You're savoring a little flavor up there. Is that what you're doing?
Keeping it right up here. I can't savor it anywhere else anymore. It's true. It's not going to stay.
I took mine off my lip. You kept yours on yours.
Yeah, I did. That was the one thing that I thought about. Was like, if I take too much of the mustache off, then I've got to go the whole thing.
No, then you'd look Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Have just the thin mustache and nothing else.
Yeah.
What's up, brewskis?
Our listeners are going to be confused, but
maybe pull it up on YouTube.
Yeah, get up on our YouTubes.
Yeah, get up on the YouTubes, man. We want you guys to subscribe to the YouTubes. Like, share, and subscribe. That's what
as the kids say. Yeah.
My name is Marco Dupa. Maybe if you're listening, you probably have no trouble with putting that together.
Oh, they can hear it. Yeah.
But if you're watching, you may be thinking, who's this sexy new guest?
This baby
with
face.
The 70s mustache.
Yeah.
That's really kind of like what I'm channeling right now.
Yeah,
it's like really like if I had like the bandana on the neck, could have the mustache, and then like I was rocking the bandana on the neck earlier.
Maybe go one more button less.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh,
real
forget
70s.
It. Forget about it.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Then I'm growing the hair. I'm growing the hair out, but no hair on the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make that a trucker cap, and I mean.
Yeah. Well, I got some trucker hats.
You're ready,
man. I'm Marco Dupa. And that guy right there, that is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
I got a less dramatic haircut.
Yeah. Tonight's brew is from The Bog Brewing Company. It's their Leichtbier. And Obi's going to have a little bit more about that after the break. What's on tap for tonight? All right. So we've been on top of this, and I guess we're just going to stay on top of this.
We're getting updates every week, so
yeah, and it seems to progress in a way every week that it's like it's probably the most exciting time in hip hop. It's been for a while.
In a while, yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm very excited to just like
we're both here for it. Yeah,
I think the problem is how others are discussing this.
Yeah, never us. It's always everyone else.
It's always the way other people are discussing this. So we're going to talk about Euphoria, Kendrick's much anticipated and finally released response, and how it has hit the landscape of hip-hop.
Sure. Then we will go into another very divisive topic, entertainer, Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld. Not, I think on face value, you wouldn't think of him as the most controversial of comics.
I don't know if he's ever been controversial in his whole life, except for the things he does and says in his personal life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he said some more stuff recently that people are a bit up in arms over or fully supporting, depending on which side of the fence you land on. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Jerry Seinfeld's take on cancel culture and comedy.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, it seems like we're talking about the culture in general when it comes to all of these things.
Quote,
right?
The culture.
The culture.
Yeah.
And, one thing that has been on the topic of many moviegoers and movie makers is how do you stay relevant in the current culture? It was Joe Russo.
It was Joe Russo, one of the Russo brothers.
He decided that he had an opinion on why superhero movies aren't working as well as they did a couple years ago.
Back in his day.
And it seems to be that we're the dumb ones. Superhero fatigue is
it ain't real.
It ain't real.
Yeah.
And it's just our attention spans and how we consume media. Yes. So we're going to talk about that. And I think
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. But let's get rocking into the free world. This is episode 424. There you go, sir.
Well, thank you.
Of the One Beer In podcast. Yes, sir. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll grab some glasses.
Oh, your glasses are right there.
the One Beer In podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew and we see where that one brew takes us. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Glass could be cleaned a little bit better.
That's all right.
That's on us. That's
okay.
on us.
It shows the dirty deals going on behind the scenes at Cigar City.
Mm-hmm. And we're pouring into shaker pints because this is a Leichtbier. You know, and so...
It is like...
That's actually pretty clean, though. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Whoever washed this dish. It's probably me.
Yeah, sure.
Look at that.
Cheers it up. That is quite the Leichtbier.
Leichtbier. Okay, so, Obi, do you want to tell the people a little bit more about what we're drinking in there?
I would love to, my friends. This is from the Bog Brewing Company out of St. Augustine, which was recently discussed. Did you actually pick it up from St. Augustine?
I did, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I did.
Very cool. It is, as named, a Leichtbier.
Leichtbier.
And there's not much of a cold read, but I was able to go over to their website, which is bogbrewery.com. And their description on there is as follows. A German light lager that is insanely clean, crisp, and perfectly drinkable. That's it.
All right.
And according to the can, it's 4.1%. According to the website, it's 3.8%. So, yeah, a little
anywhere in that neighborhood. About, let's just say 4%.
Yeah, split the difference.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because the brewery itself is a very no-frills brewery.
Yeah.
I mean, as evidenced by the fact that most of their beers were just the style. Like, this is a light beer.
I noticed that. Yeah, I'm looking at their website right now, and they have a Pilsner. It's just called a Pilsner. Yep. The Leichtbier, which is called the Leichtbier. Hefeweizen, a Vienna Lager, etc. There's a couple of other like IPAs and stuff that they get a little creative with, but like their cream ale is called a cream ale.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think I've, I don't know if I've discussed this before in the past on this podcast, but I do appreciate the idea of like, I mean, breweries have to get really creative with the names of their beers, kind of stand out.
Sure.
Sometimes
it's all branding.
Yeah, but I do appreciate the branding of just being like, this is the beer.
Yeah.
This is our light beer. This is our IPA. This is our, So
well, even from the branding, like from a design standpoint, it's very basic. I like that. It's bold. It's basic.
It's bold. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's balanced. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. I liked that.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good. It's good.
All right, let's get into this shit. Okay. Let's get this shit. So last time I think we talked about champagne moments. And I don't know if we had gone in on push-ups. I don't know if push-ups was even out yet.
I don't think it was out yet. I don't think it was out yet.
Yeah. So while
we're playing catch-up here, folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. While you guys were waiting for us to post new episodes, we had push-ups come out, which is Drake's response.
Another response.
Yeah. Well, there was push-ups, and then there was tailor-made. Oh, see, we haven't even talked about the AI stuff.
You're right.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, to the uninformed, to the uninitiated, we'll get you up to speed really fast. But you do have to go back and listen to the other episodes to get to where we are now. I'm not going to explain the rest of that shit. But up until this point, Drake had put out Push-Ups, which was like a very direct diss record to Kendrick and to Rick Ross and to even John Morant. He mentioned basketball player.
Yeah.
And Push-Ups was pretty well received for the most part. People liked it. People thought, hey, Drake is saying some shit. He's coming for Kendrick. It was funny. It was entertaining. Some people liked the song in general, just liked the song as is. So it was pretty well received.
Music that you like to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Wow. Can you imagine that?
What a concept.
And then, he waited. We waited for a little bit. Then he tried to goad the GOAT into responding. I had to say that.
Go to GOAT.
He had to try to go to GOAT. And
it's like looping the loop.
So he's doing this thing where he's on social media and he's trying to goad Kendrick into responding, but also using that as a platform to be like, look, he's scared.
He's kind of like shit posting and, just trying to kind of prod Kendrick until he finally responds.
Yeah. Then in the process of doing all this, he puts out Tailor-Made Freestyle, where he uses, I hate to keep calling everything AI, because it's not AI. It's not artificial intelligence.
Sure.
It's just he used this technology. It's more of like a
voice modulator.
Yeah, that's really, it's a very advanced voice modulator. That's really all it is. To rap from the perspective of Tupac, of all people. Basically,
and one Snoop Dogg.
Basically reprimanding and trying to get a rise out of Kendrick in that way.
Yeah.
So that kind of split people, right? Because there were some people that thought this is funny, and it's also a really creative
40
way.
chess. You're getting into Kendrick's head.
Right. This is his idol. This is the guy. And what's wrong with Kendrick used excuse me. Kendrick used Tupac's voice on To Pimp a Butterfly, even though he wasn't around for that, and it's basically the same thing. And then there was other people who were like, this is disgusting. And artistic people don't, I don't know if that's picking up on the mic. Hey, shut up!
Keep it down!
Keep it down up there! Where was I?
Some people found it disgusting.
Grandpa. Yes. Some people thought it was disgusting. Some people felt like, like a lot of artistic people feel like AI, the way that people are using the word AI nowadays, is this disgusting,
necromancy.
backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people vehemently resisted it.
Yeah.
Drake ended up actually taking it off streaming because he was threatened by the
estate
of Tupac.
Yeah.
And so that one's kind of fallen. I don't really count that one because he deleted it, and it's kind of.
We should say too that for context, Snoop didn't have a problem with it. It seemed he's just like, "What happened?"
Yeah, right.
And he's kind of shrugged it off.
He always seems like he's kind of just out of it.
Well, it's what 40 years of smoking weed every day does.
Yeah. So
God bless him.
You get all that. Now we wait a couple more days, and then on a random Tuesday morning, we get Kendrick posting randomly Euphoria.
Yeah.
His response.
The art is literally just a description of a definition of what Euphoria the word means.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing.
Here's the deal, man.
I'm not gonna try to go into like everything, every reference that's made.
No.
Every different way that he flipped a word, every double entendre, triple entendre.
You have genius for that.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do all of that for yourself. And also, it would take the length of this podcast to try to explain each bar.
Sure.
It's 6.5 minutes of him just boom, 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 boom.
Two
it's
beats.
Technically it's 3 because there's that intro.
Oh yeah.
Then there's the first part, and then it switches towards the end.
Yeah.
So technically there's 3 beat switches on the song. It's expansive. It's dense.
Very dense.
It's a lot.
He said a lot. He had a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is years and years. I mean, these guys have been going back and forth for years. That's the thing that like some people who don't really know the history of this stuff. These guys have been sending shots for years.
Yeah.
Subliminals and, little things here and there. So all of this stuff is kind of coming to a head now. I think what's more interesting to talk about, because the beef is the beef, right? I think what's more interesting to talk about is the public perception of the beef.
Yeah.
And how people are receiving these songs.
Yeah. Because that varies more than what we can say about the songs themselves.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are going to feel however you feel about each one of these songs. I guess we can give our opinions on the songs.
Yeah.
I personally feel like Kendrick is up. I thought Push-Ups was good. I do like it. I mean, I've gone on record many times just so you guys know when you're listening to this that I am obviously a lyrical hip hop fan, but I just love hip hop in all forms as long as it's good.
Yeah.
And so I do like Kendrick. I mean, sorry, Freudian slip.
Wow.
I do like Drake. I do like his music.
Yeah.
So I liked Back to Back. I like Duppy Freestyle, even though I thought Pusha T won that beef overall.
Yeah,
I did think Duppy Freestyle was good. So I mean, I like Drake. I like Drake.
I like Drake.
I like Push-Ups. I thought it was I thought it was funny. I thought his flow on there was tight. The beat was probably could have picked a better beat, but overall, I think Push-Ups is, I like the chorus of like him being like, Top said, a drop and give me 50. And basically saying that like
it's clever.
You're still under these guys who are going to you're basically a foot soldier for these guys no matter how much you talk about.
They're taking 50%.
Yeah, and it's it's a double entendre about the split for his contract. So I think it's a clever verse. Yeah. So I like Push-Ups.
Yeah.
I think Euphoria though, just the intensity of it, the deepness of each of the bars, because that's been the discussion too. Is like, oh, Drake lyrically raps better. He does more punchlines and double entendres, and Kendrick is a better storyteller / songwriter. And I don't agree, though I do think that makes sense, that argument. I understand why people would say that. I disagree. I think people are just not listening to Kendrick intently enough.
Sure.
But I do think it takes more effort to listen to more dense rappers. So that is a turnoff in and of itself.
I also think it's a story of like two different methods of the same art and craft, Yeah. I mean, I think Euphoria clearly shows if Kendrick wanted to be more of a punchline rapper, he could.
Yeah.
But when he's going for a concept, that takes a back seat to storytelling, to evoking feeling, to experimentation, things that I don't feel like Drake is as interested in exploring.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a apples and oranges situation.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think it's fair to compare the two in that way, because I think they're really good at doing what they do.
Yeah. I think and the gap between them artistically has only widened in the past couple of years. Whereas you could compare Good Kid, Mad City to Views, or I don't know. I think Nothing was the same, or whatever came out around the same time.
Yeah.
Because like from an artistic standpoint, they were kind of delving into not the same topics, but some of their songs were similar. Like Kendrick is not this like, it's really funny when a rapper talks about like some pro-black stuff or like pro-religion or something super personal or whatever. They get this. They seem to be put on this new tier or this upper echelon.
Or not even, I wouldn't even say upper echelon. It feels like they're bucketed in this place that is unfair to bucket Kendrick into. He's not he's not a lyrical miracle guy.
Right.
He's not.
Right.
He's not a backpack rapper. Never has been.
Never has been. And that's the thing. You go back and listen to Good Kid, Mad City, and even to Pimp a Butterfly, there's songs on there that like he's obviously telling these stories, but especially Good Kid, Mad City. I mean, there's poetic justice. There's Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. There's songs about just vibing. There's songs about fucking bitches. There's songs about like he's not this guy, and they do it. It's so frustrating because they do it with every rapper that seems to be like, people talk about they talk about Mos Def in that way, and True. It's like, all right, but if you've only listened to Black on Both Sides, why would you say that? Because Miss Fat Booty is right there.
Right.
Talib Kweli, the same thing. He talks about fucking bitches.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Common is the most egregious example.
Oh, yeah.
Because Common is the guy, because his two biggest singles are like, woman oriented and like they're love songs basically. He's the one that gets propped up as like this, I love Common. Common is this, he's a rapper who talks about women in a positive way.
He's really conscious.
And and it's like, dude, yeah, sure. I guess don't listen to anything before B.
Sure.
If you want to feel that way.
Don't listen to Common Sense.
Yeah, because he definitely was not that guy for years.
No.
Years. While you guys were touting him, even on those same albums with those songs.
Well,
he was still rapping that way.
It's funny because I feel like this is the same, or not the same, but a similar cultural divide that we find in other things nowadays, especially politically. It's like those are considered like woke rappers,
right?
And people roll their eyes at them because they throw in a couple of songs on an album that have some conscious lyricism to them.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's, you just completely write off the rest of the shit.
Yeah.
And that stuff.
Or they're like they categorize them in like all they're like ultra militant or something.
Yeah,
it's like no, they're not. They're not Immortal Technique.
Yeah,
like what are you talking about?
I mean, dude, and even Kendrick on his most recent album is talking about like there's a whole song where he's like, I had sex with white women. He's like, my ancestors are watching me fuck white women. Like, there's a whole song about that on the most recent album that is supposed to be this guy who is a super lyrical miracle, above everybody, this godlike figure, and it's like he even on this album he's talking about fucking bitches. So like, I don't know, it's a really frustrating way to engage with it.
And from the outside looking in, for people who don't have as much experience listening or like listening with open ears to Kendrick, I feel like that is something to come into it with that prejudice, and therefore just they feel like he feels like he's better than Drake.
Yes. Like as a person.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. I mean, he obviously thinks he's better than Drake at rapping.
Right.
Or otherwise we wouldn't have a beef.
Right.
But I think that's the perception. But if you listen to the actual music, I don't think that's the reality.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
If you go into it without prejudice, I feel like it's pretty clear where both of them are coming from. Going into my opinion for Euphoria, I mean, I think he wiped the floor with Drake.
Yeah.
I think that, like you said, Push Ups is pretty good, but I feel like Euphoria is the best song to come out of this beef so far. Easily.
Yeah.
So dense. There's so much to unpack with every line. It is the thing that I appreciated most about it is that it's a fun listen because it is so not only dense but diverse within it. He goes into different accents, different styles, the beat switches. All of it makes it much more enjoyable listen than anything that anyone else in this beef has put out yet.
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drake could come out tomorrow with, something even better. But it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because I think the expectations are sky high.
Yeah. I think Drake really only has in him Push Up and like back-to-back songs like that, where it's like this like constant beat thing where, it's sort of like a trap beat where he's going to come in and he's going to rap his ass off. He's going to say a lot of clever shit.
Yeah.
I think Drake is going to have to say something super memorable. Yeah. and okay, so that kind of gets us into people's perception of these things. A lot of people are saying that because Euphoria doesn't quote unquote reveal anything new, it doesn't reveal any new information.
Sure.
That somehow it's a lesser song or it's not as good of a diss record as Push Ups or any other song because it's not revealing information. And
right.
Pusha T, I think you were saying that Fantano said this, right?
But yeah, Fantano tweeted about it.
And I think a lot of people have felt this way for a while. Pusha T really set the bar. I'm not going to say he set it high. he said it insurmountable. He said it. He said it off the fucking.
He took the bar off. He dug a hole and threw it down there, and he put a gravestone on it.
Yeah.
To say you can't do this anymore. Unless you're going to unveil a hidden child.
Yeah. I mean,
a love child that he has not been admitting to and not supporting.
Right. And I think that is just unfair going forward. This was it was a shocking thing to do on a song.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was true only made it more shocking. And it was the first time that Drake it was the first time that there was chinks in the armor of what the persona that he had created. Because from his debut album, everyone forgot people clowned him. They would call him Wheelchair Jimmy and all this shit. But sure. Most people, 90%, if you were a Drake hater, then you had anything, you could have dug up anything, right?
Sure, yeah.
I think it's silly to try to clown on a guy who was on a TV show as a kid. It's like, oh, okay, well, he was successful as a child, and now he's transitioning into this other thing. I find that silly.
Especially if he's talented at what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's not like a Nepo baby situation.
Right.
Like he's good at rapping.
Right.
Like he's good at what he does.
So basically from his debut up until this point, there hadn't been many people there was people throwing shots, there was stones thrown.
Sure.
But up until this point, nobody had done this.
Yeah.
So I think that is probably the most devastating thing, is that it made him look human. And not just human, but a very flawed
human. And the fact that he didn't respond in kind and couldn't respond in kind.
Right.
And not only that, but then the about face, the very public about face of him now accepting this child.
Right.
Now taking pictures with this
touting
kid.
him and parading him around.
It's like, Pusha T may have the biggest diss of all time. Based on results alone.
Right.
Other than people getting killed, that's like the biggest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Like change someone's life.
Right. And honestly, even when you think about the East Coast West Coast stuff from the 90s, that was violence that was, I hate to frame it this way, but it was a thing that was bubbling and was going to be a thing regardless of the song.
Sure.
I don't think that somebody listened to Hit 'Em Up and then was like, it's time for someone to die.
Yeah, no. That was percolating. That's an entire other conversation.
Yeah.
But, the media pushed that more than anyone.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. But speaking of Hit 'Em Up, it's like songs like that, people go, Hit 'Em Up routinely is considered the greatest diss record of all time.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is. And it's so funny when people bring Hit 'Em Up. It's like Tupac does destroy Biggie on that song.
I mean, the first bar alone, like,
yeah. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. And then take money. It's absolutely, dude. And he says it a cappella. It's the first thing you hear.
Before the beat drops.
That's why I fucked your bitch, and then boom. That dude, it's absolutely devastating. Problem is, then he lets his fucking flunkies fill out the rest of the song. So now you're sitting through like 4.5 minutes of these guys.
Sorry, Outlaws.
And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Why are you doing this?
So I think that takes it down a peg.
Sure.
My personal favorite and what I feel is the best diss record of all time is No Vaseline.
You're gonna say it.
I mean, that's mine. I think it's the beat itself is crazy. The situation when you think about it in the context, the stuff that he's saying
very personal.
And again, this is the kind of stuff that, like, if people were saying, "Yo, this new shit ain't no Vaseline," then I'd be like, all right, I kind of see where you're coming from. But to bring up, like, Ether is another one. People say that Ether is probably the greatest of all time. Would you say Ether was probably yours?
Top 3 for sure.
What would you say is yours?
3.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I mean, as I live and breathe today. I mean, I think it would.
Don't worry about recency bias. If you want to say like Euphoria, You can say Euphoria.
Well, I think...
You have to think about it.
No, I don't think that. Because of what I just said about Pusha T.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, maybe Story of Added-On?
Story Added On, I think, has to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Based on results alone.
Yeah.
So that's up in there.
Yeah.
Ether's up in there.
Yeah.
No Vaseline is up in there.
Yeah.
That's probably my holy trifecta of diss tracks that are now in rotation every day. If I had to say where I live and breathe today, I mean, I'd probably give it to Ether. Yeah. Because that loomed so large in my life as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't hear No Vaseline until after I heard Ether.
Yeah.
And by that time, it was old news. And it's like, I have to look up the history of, why he did that. What did this have to do with, like, the backstabbing, the business backstabbing in NWA and all this stuff. Like, it didn't hit as hard for me. Now that I have more context, I get it. It is an incredible, brutal song, but it just didn't hit the way that it would have if I had grown up in that time.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, my No Vaseline is Ether.
Right.
Because I heard that and I was like, oh!
Yeah.
How will he ever recover?
No, dude, yeah.
Oh, no. He married Beyonce.
Oh, no, he became a billionaire. How did he ever recover? No, that's a good point. Ether came out while we were consciously listening to hip hop and could be in the middle of
I was there for Ether.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Barely, but I was there. I was there.
And to your point about Story of Added-On, it did change the game. It changed people's public perception of Jay-Z. It changed people's perception of Nas, because at that point his career was on a downslope. People were going, "What is Nas doing?" You listen to Nostradamus.
Ether, not Story of Added-On.
Yeah, did I say?
You said Story of Added-On.
Sorry. Ether.
Yeah.
Nas was on this downswing right before Stillmatic came out. Yeah. And people were going like, his career might be over. This guy's doing Uchi Wally Wally, and this is the guy who made Illmatic and It Was Written. Now he's doing Uchi Wally. And Jay-Z, to his credit, fully took advantage of that public perception and was like, your bodyguard's verse was better than yours. Like, you're terrible. You're not the guy. You're not the savior.
Now you're just garbage.
Yeah. So it was a game changer in the same way the Story of Added-On was. It changed public perception of Drake. I do feel that Pusha T didn't capitalize on it enough. I believe that, Pusha T is one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
I believe that Daytona and It's Almost Dry are two incredible albums. So
not to even mention the Clips albums.
On
top of that.
No, exactly. And not even to mention the stuff before Daytona. He's had a storied career, whether people want to admit it or not.
Sure. Yeah.
But as far as relevancy, I have to admit that, only hip hop heads consider, like, put Pusha T up there. And it's a shame because he is talent for talent, bar for bar.
Yeah.
He's top 5, I believe. Like, just as far as current rappers going right now, I don't think there's. If you like any of the Griselda guys, if you like Stove God Cooks, if
he's
you
the
like
king of coke rap.
Yeah, he is. It's just absolutely. There's. I don't think there's anyone better in that regard.
No.
So it is a shame, but I do believe that he didn't do enough to capitalize on that. I think It's Almost Dry came out too late.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I don't think he could He could have done something more, but I don't think he could have done much more with Story of Added-On to catapult himself into a more popular sense. Because what he does is, like, it's very niche.
It is.
He's really good at doing that.
I think the public perception, though, of, like, I think that, and obviously this is 2020 now. I can look back and say this, so being in the moment, I don't know how you handle this, but looking back, I think that instead of letting it go, he should have been like, I'm supposed to be scared that you talk to Jay Prince and you're not. What do you like? You're going to cause me bodily harm? Like I'm supposed to be afraid of you?
Sure.
And then he should have kept his foot on his neck.
Yeah.
I think he had more in the chamber, and he was waiting for Drake to respond.
Yeah.
And then when Drake never did, it all kind of fizzled out. And to Drake's credit, it was smart to just kind of let it fizzle out, especially if he didn't have anything.
Walk away.
He did, yeah. And
people will forget. And that's
they
what
did.
happened.
So when you bring up Story of Adidon,
we didn't forget.
People always say, like, oh, all he did was reveal the baby thing. It's not even that good. Bro, go back and listen to Story of Adidon. Yeah. Go back and listen. It's not, you can take the baby stuff out, and it's still a devastating diss record.
Yeah.
Him talking about growing, you don't grow your fro out because it won't nap enough. You know, you got a deadbeat dad who doesn't love your mother. Yeah. You have issues with your own blackness. I mean, it's and then he talks about the contract split. So it's funny that all these guys are talking about each other's contracts when it's like Drake is signed to a guy who signed to a guy who signed to a, like they all have these weird splits, and it's probably a commentary on the industry, but we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So Story of Adidon without the baby reveal is even if you took that out and you talked about him fucking a porn star and the fact that he was like, you cleaned I saw this tweet, I don't know, maybe you saw it too, but this guy was like, he quoted that bar. It was like, cleaned up her IG, but the stench is still on her. And he was like, that is an insane thing to say about a human being. That's crazy to say that about someone. Yeah. And it's true. He was going for his throat. He was saying things that I was like, that is such a mean thing to say about someone.
I remember, I viscerally remember listening to it for the first time and like almost gritting my teeth.
Yeah.
At like, oh my God.
Oh, Jesus, I can't, like, that is, wow, you were really going
That's
there
okay
with
to say?
Oof.
I didn't know that was okay to say.
I mean, he felt like when he mentioned his wife, all the gloves were off, and he was like, I'm going to say everything that I can think of, and he did. So, yeah, the people who try to write it off as just some big reveal and it was nothing else, but that's where we are, man. Short-term memory loss, and we'll get into this with the Russos too, but the idea of people's attention spans, it's like, part of that is true. Part of it, people have very short-term memory. Yeah. They don't look back on stuff. They don't, I mean, you know, like we're talking about No Vaseline, for instance, or Hit 'Em Up and all this stuff. It's like a lot of people are basing their perceptions on these things on what other people are telling them about this stuff. Yeah. They're telling you that Hit 'Em Up is the greatest diss record of all time. I mean, I think Jadakiss, I think the song's called Checkmate. His diss record to 50 Cent is probably better than Hit 'Em Up as far as like dense, lyrical, mean-spirited shit to say about another person. I think Jadakiss probably has a better I don't think, like, it's just, but it's all informed by the culture and how it moves, and people say like, this is the most devastating thing you could say about somebody, or we all believe this one thing, and it's like, I mean, I don't know, man. There's so I said it last week, and it remains true. The way that people are engaging with this is starting to kind of ruin it, because they're not engaging with it the right way. I feel
they're not engaging with it honestly.
They're not.
You know, it's becoming this console war style thing where people are just entrenched in their own biases, and you know, they're not willing to play the game. Yeah, and that makes it not fun.
Yeah, you can't listen to Euphoria and say it's whack. No, I don't. If you're doing that, it's just like, how can I engage with you honestly if you're not even starting from an honest position of, okay, it was good, but it's like, all right, I'll hear you out. Yeah. But to just be like, it's trash, it's mid, you know, he didn't even say anything, bro. He said a lot. He said a lot. I guarantee, dude. You may not think he said anything, but I guarantee you Drake is sitting there going, Jesus Christ. How did everybody find out about my abs? Why is everybody talking about my abs? Why is there, like, bro, if somebody was like,
we've got a leak.
If someone was like, I hate the way you talk, I hate the way you dress, I hate the way you say words, that would affect me even if I was like, fuck that guy. In the back of my mind, I'd be like, Do I really say that word that weird? Why does he hate the way that I dress?
He hates everything.
He hates everything about me?
In my opinion, real quick, I think one of the smartest things that Kendrick did in that diss was admit that he likes some of his songs.
Yeah.
Because that makes it seem like this is not coming from a place solely of hate.
Right.
Of just like, you're going at me, I'm going at you. No, it's it's like a friend telling you, what you did was fucked up. I like you, but this isn't cool.
Yeah, I want you to know, like, I'm feeling some of that stuff, but that thing's not good. You have to know.
That cuts so much deeper. It's someone saying like, yeah, you're handsome, but you're an asshole.
Right.
You suck.
Right.
Like that hurts much more than like, you suck, you're ugly, I hate your face.
Yeah. Because then you're like, oh, that person just doesn't like me in general.
Right, so right. And he's just, telling lies. It comes off way more truthful because Kendrick said, look, you got some good songs.
Yeah.
I rock with this stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I don't like this.
I don't believe you're a tough guy, so
right.
Just make Hotline bling.
I mean, chef's kiss, chef's kiss for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see if public, because I am seeing that there are a lot of people who are appreciating Euphoria for what it is. Drake has a pretty big internet following. I mean, he's one of those artists that has kind of surpassed any kind of normal fandom.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only a handful of artists that are in this like upper tier of, now the people who are fans of you have this weird parasocial relationship with you.
He's got a cult.
Yeah, so he's up there with the Kanyes, the Taylor Swifts, the Megan, the Stallions, the Nicki Minaj's, the Beyoncé's. So engaging with those people is not worth it.
No.
Because there's no real conversation to be had there.
It's not fun. Like I said, it's just not fun to engage with someone that's so entrenched in their beliefs.
Yeah.
Behind an artist especially.
Yeah. But it just kind of ruins it because, you go into a discussion about hip hop or about this beef, for instance, and people are having like, I mean, Twitter's already cooked. You jump in there, there's like 100 blue checks who are ruining the comment section. And I
guarantee at least half of the like crazy takes are just for engagement farming.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people saying, "Oh yeah, Euphoria sucks." It's like, okay, and like you're trolling. It's clear that you're trolling.
It's just we need a new place to be able to talk about this stuff. And I fear that the way that the internet is now, I mean, it's partly, not partly, but it's mostly Elon's fault. No, it's 100% Elon's fault on Twitter because he made it, he incentivized that sort of behavior.
Well, he's fixing it all now. He's saying anyone engaged in engagement farming is going to get
What does that even mean? How does he even define it? He can't define it because there was people even showing that he contradicts himself. In the same day that he posted that, he contradicted himself by engaging in engagement farming.
Yeah, it's just this.
Yeah,
I'm flapping my hands like I'm talking.
Yeah.
About nonsense. There's only crap coming out of my hand right now.
Exactly. So, we're not going to go down that road. Yeah. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see. By the time of this recording, Drake hasn't dropped anything. There hasn't been anything like super controversial.
He's
People are still kind of just shit posting on his Instagram and stuff, and trying to pretend like it wasn't as devastating as it was.
Got you.
I'm gonna post a video post a clip from fucking 10 Things I Hate About You. We're gonna laugh, and it's like, no, dude, you can go ahead and pretend like what we all heard wasn't what we heard, but it was.
We all know it hurt.
So who knows? Some people are saying that like it might be smart of him to kind of like laugh it off and back off, like he did with Story of Adidon.
Sure, yeah.
Just kind of backed away slowly and was like, you know what? It's probably not worth it.
Yeah.
And then who knows? I mean, Kendrick is a far bigger artist than Pusha T is, all due respect.
Yeah.
And so he's not just going to go away.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Pusha T's doing his thing. Like, I follow him on Instagram. He's like doing fashion shows and he's touring with his brother. Like he's doing clip shows and stuff. Like he's doing his thing. So I don't think he's like losing sleep. over people going like, story of Adidon, not even know that.
No.
But
he doesn't care. He knows what he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what you've done.
Surgical summer. Yeah. Well, public perception being what it is can be dictated by I keep looking at myself in the monitor. And we haven't talked about the mustache really, or why I did it. I was going to talk about it a little bit. I don't have to talk about it. I think people need.
We mentioned it in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can talk about your game plan here. Where your head's at.
I just think that people need to understand me.
Yeah.
They need to understand why I do the things that
this is you now, like J-Lo.
This is me now. Yeah. No, there's no big.
There's no rhyme or reason.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Look, you just get tired of the same hairstyle, the same facial hairstyle.
I think anybody who knows me personally knows that like the hair, for instance, could go tomorrow. That's how I feel about this kind
hair
of stuff.
Hair today, gone tomorrow.
Exactly. So it's like I don't know. I kind of floated the idea to a couple of people who are like, I don't think it's a good idea to shave the beard, and they're probably right. But at the same time, I just can't be moved by.
Look, if there's one thing that you have full control over, it's your own body.
That's true.
You can't let people sway you. If you are so inspired to do something with yourself, I say, Godspeed, my friend.
You just got to do it.
You got to do it.
That's what I did.
Because it's you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the only thing you can control. Mm-hmm. And so here we are.
Yeah. It's great. I, for one, love it. I think it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You need a bit of a tan on the... Like I said, that'd be a problem. You need a tan.
That was the first thing he was like, you're going to need to... That's going to be pretty obvious.
All this is brown, and then you got a little pale around
yeah.
So the cheekies.
What it does is it accentuates the 5 o'clock shadow that's not even there. Because it looked... Because the discoloration of where the beard was.
Yeah.
I need one of those like foil things.
Yeah, like in The Sopranos.
Yeah. Just cook the face a little bit.
Yeah. But after a weekend outside, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I think I'll just go outside tomorrow and just
stare at the sun.
Up, like The Faculty.
Good pull. Good pull.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't think about The Faculty enough.
No. Not nearly enough.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Still hair, plenty of hair there.
there. Okay, listen, guys, listen. Also, the mustache made me think about a Seinfeld bit when they came back from I think it was like season 4 into season 5, and they had.
I thought you were about to list the actual episode.
Dude,
season 4,
episode 7,
15.
I wish that I had that kind of encyclopedic knowledge
around the 15-minute 2-second mark.
No, they come back and George and Jerry have grown mustaches, and Jerry's like, he's like, this was stupid, and George was like, yeah, I was done, and he was like, you said that this was a good idea. He said, you said that this would be a vacation from ourselves. That's what you said.
Yeah.
and it's because I think George is jobless for a while, and he's like, you know what, it's gonna be, I'm just gonna take some time off. We're gonna be it's a vacation from ourselves.
It's for me.
Yeah. So I think the show opens with them at the cafe being like, why did we do this? This is so stupid. So maybe that's how I'll feel after a little while. I'm just looking at myself in the mirror like, this is a vacation from Marco.
There you go.
I think what I'll do is
open a pizzeria. Got him.
I think I'll do the reverse. I'll do like a Muslim beard. I'll just have this, and then shave the mustache.
Yeah, you look like a UFC fighter.
Yeah. One of them Dagestani guys.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay. Speaking of Seinfeld.
Okay.
We got to speak on Seinfeld. Okay. So, because apparently the guy who made one of the most controversial sitcoms of all time. Seinfeld.
Yeah. The titular Seinfeld.
The show about nothing.
Right.
This is the guy who's telling us that, you can't make shows anymore. You can't make raunchy comedies anymore because cancel culture, man.
He said specifically the far left.
He said the far left.
Yeah.
He literally used the words the far left.
Yeah.
You can't You can't make...
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Misquoted the man. Extreme left.
The extreme left. The extreme left. The extreme left
has, quote, ruined sitcoms with PC crap.
The PC crap.
Yep. That PC crap.
I just want, for once, people in Jerry's position to point to a show that is the result of PC crap.
Young Sheldon, clear.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
That I don't even know that show, but I know that it delves into some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah.
On that show specifically.
Sure. Yeah. Gets dark.
I don't know any. I don't know any
some
show. I mean, maybe shows. Maybe he's an insider and he knows that there are shows that we're trying to get off the ground that didn't work because
I get from what he said. Should I read the full quote?
Please.
Just so people have full context here?
Please.
So after the PC crap comment, he said, quote, "It used to be that you would go home at the end of the day. Most people would go, oh, Cheers is on. MASH is on. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore's on. All in the Family's on." Excuse me. You just expected there'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it?
Where is it?
This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap.
PC crap.
And people worrying so much about offending other people.
Yeah.
So I guess that PC crap was part of that quote.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's according to Today. The Today Show website.
Yeah. Well, he was on some podcast, right? Talking about it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. That's usually where people pop off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's usually when people have too much time.
It's for the lowest of the low.
Yeah. I think TV shows like talk shows and stuff probably prevented people from saying too much crazy shit.
Absolutely. You're not given a full hour. You're given like 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
And half of that is talking about your new book.
Right. So you got to like just get your funny anecdote out there,
right.
And like no one is waiting for you to be like, you know what, these kids today. That's my Gilbert Gottfried for some reason.
It's pretty good.
I don't know where that came from, but I might want to start developing that impression.
Yeah. I thought you got like talk to Mead.
Yeah.
The spirit of Godfrey was within you.
Okay. Let me just say, because I feel like we have to say this before we go in on this kind of stuff.
Say it.
We like Jerry.
Yeah.
I mean, we like Seinfeld.
We're two Seinfeld guys here.
I mean, I don't know how much Comedians in Cars you watch,
but
I
think I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen every single episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Yeah. So I don't want it to come across like, we're the extreme left and don't like Seinfeld, but you just got to call a spade at this point.
Sure.
Because he's been banging this drum for a while now.
Well, and what I was going to say, I just remembered my my trail of thought here, is that I get the feeling, because you were asking like if he could point to any shows that were in development that got like,
some shit that maybe
committed
we don't
to
know.
death.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that he's talking about stuff he's proposed himself.
Yeah, he's been in rooms where
it
he wanted to do
seems
something.
like he is beating this drum because he knows it from experience, and he's tried to get some stuff off the ground that they're like, don't like that. Don't like that angle.
Yeah, he's probably had to have conversations where they're like, I mean, how are black women going to feel about this?
Sure,
like, how do you... But let's say that's the truth.
Yeah.
Right? If a committee pushes back on a joke or a bit or even the point of a show, and they're like, how are the gay people going to feel about this? How's the queer community as a whole going to feel about this? And your answer is, fuck them. then the joke's not good.
Sure.
Right? It's not good enough. You should be able to say, like, listen, we're not... The point of this bit is we're taking the piss out of this thing at the expense of this thing. We're not punching down. We're just making a joke, and maybe people will be offended. But if you think about the point of the joke, like what we're actually trying to say, we're not saying shitty things about this community. We're using them as a vehicle, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
but if your answer is like, fuck them if they're offended.
Because it's funny.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Jerry is one of the last guys who has been going around doing this stand-up is the last beacon of truth thing.
Of free speech.
Joe Rogan, all the people that Rogan has on his show.
Yeah.
They are these guys that when people talk when they make fun of the truth tellers.
Yeah.
The fucking that's who they're talking about. It's guys like Jerry. Jerry's going around on all these radio shows and podcasts, and he's like, as long as something's funny, it doesn't matter what
I
you
should
say.
be able to say anything.
Yeah, and it's like, that's not how things work, man.
Yeah.
That's just not how things
Well,
that's how things have never worked.
I was about to make that exact point. There have always been committees for sitcoms before they come out. People who write the checks and sign them.
Yeah.
Who are saying, don't like that.
Yeah.
Let's do something else. Except now, maybe there are more people who have more information about the larger scope of an audience.
Yeah.
And, maybe you just don't like that.
Yeah.
That's fine if that's how you feel. Like, that's totally your prerogative. But to not change with the times in order to be sensitive is not even the right word, but conscious of other people and expanding your umbrella a bit more than it was in the 90s is outdating yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that your show needs to be for everyone, because that's impossible. But the fact that people may be pushing back because something could be harmful in a way that isn't funny.
Yeah.
If I understand, people have been talking about this all the entire time since he's come out with this quote and saying South Park and Always Sunny are perfect examples of how to continue to make non-PC comedy, but do it in a responsible way that isn't punching down, but is still hilarious and is still edgy and is still, as vibrant as you could ever want a show to be without it being just we hate the Muslim guy.
Right.
It's funny. He smells bad.
Right.
Right. We don't need that anymore.
Right.
That is no longer acceptable unless there is some kind of larger thought at hand.
Yeah, and I would go so far as to say it's not even a question or a conversation about what is and isn't acceptable. It's a conversation about culturally, we've already done this joke. So what are you saying that's any differently than what has been said for 20, 30 years already? If your bit is it's scary that a Sikh is wearing a turban on a plane.
On a plane, yeah.
And that's the bit. And there's no other commentary. It's like, well, dude, we've already done that joke. So even if no one is offended, it's just like, well, we've already done that. How many times are you going to do that joke? Not only has culture evolved past the point of doing jokes like that, but we've already done those jokes. So it's not even just the fact that we're over it or don't want to see it or it's offensive.
It hurts too much. You guys are telling the truth too hard.
Yeah, it's people just are not interested in people. People have more resources. People can watch more things.
They're generally smarter.
People are smarter.
They are exposed to more variety of people.
Right. So
they probably know a trans person. They know somebody that's not of their culture.
Right. So it's harder now. I will say low-hanging fruit is really low-hanging fruit.
And that's why I agree with the people who push back on these truth tellers of comedy that feel like they're the last beacon of free speech in America, in saying that no, what you're doing is hacky.
Yeah.
Because it is such low-hanging fruit. It's a bit at this point.
Yeah.
When Tim Heidecker can go and make an entire series of stand-up specials that are based on a caricature of what you're doing.
Right.
It's time to hang it up, man.
Absolutely.
It's just such... It is such hack material.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We've done it. We have moved beyond it.
Yeah.
Try harder.
Yeah.
And if you can't, you don't belong in the business anymore.
Well, it's like
or you belong in your little echo chamber And
which will work,
and it has been working.
Yes, exactly.
What are you complaining about?
You can just what they want is to be able to sell out Madison Square Garden and be on every TV. And it's like, hey man, you can still make your money over there doing the thing that you want to do. If you
could probably make more money that way because people, we've talked about this like fervent but small fan base. It's the same deal with these people.
They'll show up for you, man. They'll show up for you.
They'll buy your mugs and your koozies.
Here's the thing. Jerry specifically is a billionaire.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to come back and make a new show or a movie or something, he could do that in a heartbeat.
B-movie too. Yeah.
Listen, I like B-movie, okay?
I saw it in theaters. I remember seeing it in theaters.
You like jazz?
I
think B-movie is funny.
I quote that basically every day. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. Yeah. I think getting Chris Rock to voice the mosquito, I think it's a great movie.
He's got a mosquito-like voice.
When he talks about like the honey industry and is like selling it to the white man and he points to a white dude and then the black lawyer kind of scooches away from him. Come on, man. That's funny.
It's good.
Then that's the thing. He could channel, whether you think the weird stuff in the B movie aside.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of weird
stuff in that movie, yeah.
The jokes in them are funny. That movie is just genuinely like a slapsticky, like...
Because of the honey?
Yeah. So why, as the guy who made that movie and who's also promoting the Pop-Tart movie, why are you the guy who's going around saying, you can't say the F word anymore? What's wrong with that? Beating the drum. It's like, I don't understand why he is this guy.
Well... I've seen that a lot of the conservative base, a lot of the extreme right, is really putting him on a pedestal now because he is such a big name.
Yeah,
and he has this legendary status among comedy and sitcoms. So they're using this. They're jumping on it.
They get a guy. Yeah, it happens every time. And he's going to end up on Gutfeld.
Gutfeld. Yeah. I mean, I hope he starts writing for him. Jesus Christ!
Just all he needs is a script supervisor to be there and be like, "Listen, when you deliver the joke,
do it like this,
so that people know that it's the joke."
Yeah. Emphasis. You know the word emphasis.
Yeah. Do you understand that? Do you understand?
You got it.
How to emphasize on this part?
This isn't in my sheets of paper.
Going through a Rolodex.
This is for people who've seen Gutfeld. We've watched a couple episodes.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. Gutfeld.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I can't wait to see the Pop-Tart movie, to see like this. Is
that on Netflix?
It is Netflix.
It's gonna be a Netflix. It's part of his Netflix deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't wait to see like the creative genius that's coming from the guy who's like, you just can't do these kinds of movies anymore.
And again, based on the trailer, it looks like just a silly movie.
Yeah. But the thing is, Jerry always does silly.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he's the guy.
Yeah.
Because he's always done clean. He's always done silly.
Yeah.
He just, like, his entire career has been based around observational humor. And those observations are like, it's kind of funny that.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes, I never thought about it like that. But you're right. That is a universal thing.
What's
and it's
the deal?
Funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
That's been his whole career.
Sure.
And even when you go back and watch Seinfeld, it's like, bro, dog, you have created a timeless TV show. And you know why it's timeless? It's because it's not beholden to the politics of the mid-90s and the religious beliefs or political beliefs or anything. It is just a silly thing with four mean-spirited people getting into weird situations because of their mean-spiritedness.
Sure.
That show can live on forever, except for the first season. First season's kind of boring.
Yeah, like universally, everyone. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's true of almost every sitcom, though.
Yeah, nothing comes out the gates.
No, it never. No, I mean, even Always Sunny. Like, it took 2 or 3 seasons before they got. What's his name?
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito in there.
And I tried to do a rewatch of all of, because it's like 18 or 19 seasons, and I went back
longer than that. I think it's like in the 20s at this point.
Oh, well.
I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I went back and tried. I started at episode 1, and I was like, This show's not that good.
No. It starts really rough. It's funny, actually. Okay, look, we're gonna break the fourth wall here.
Do it.
We don't talk about podcasts on this show, but the one that they did, the Always Sunny podcast that they have, they recap basically every episode that they've ever done.
Yeah,
and so they go back and are like, this joke sucked. This joke sucked. This is why. This one we're still proud of. And like they dissect how it went and where they were coming from, how they, got the money to start it in the first place, how things changed over time, their relationships, et cetera. It's really interesting behind the scenes look at a sitcom. Mm-hmm. But yeah, season 1 sucks.
It's not good.
Yeah. That's true of most sitcoms, I would say.
Otherwise, though, he created a timeless show because he didn't do the things that he's going around saying you can't do anymore. Well, you never did any of them to begin with.
And when he did, it was always, I won't say always because they did stop syndicating the Puerto Rico episode. Yeah. The Puerto Rican Day Parade episode. Yeah. Which my family never liked. My dad's a big Seinfeld head. Yeah. But he's like, it's kind of rough. I don't like that one too much. Yeah. But when they're talking about something like LGBTQ, not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's anything wrong with that.
Even that is a very deft, light touch. Yeah. It's intelligent. Yeah. It's smart. For the time especially. Yeah. That's why it will age well. If he went in there...
What about the pizza episode where they basically was an allegory for when a fetus is a baby?
Right.
Like that's a whole thing when you're like, is the pizza a pizza once it's out of the oven, or is a pizza when they've put the toppings on there and then put it in the oven? Is that like that's a whole thing? And it's like
it's intelligent.
You had this whole conversation, and
it's thoughtful. Yeah, and I think that's all I want to see from comedy is some thought. Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, like that's not woke. That's not suppressing the truth. That's not suppressing your comedic stylings. It's just asking for better.
And how is he watching his writing partner create one of the greatest sitcoms of all time still going?
Which now it just ended,
but yeah, you were there. You was there. You watched this. How can you watch Curb and Veep? You're watching the people that you worked with make shows that are exactly what you're talking about, and you're like, you can't do that anymore. It's like, they're literally doing it. They're doing it right now.
Someone made a supercut of all the, quote, inappropriate jokes in Veep. Yeah. And it's like, you can do it. Yeah. You can do it if you do it smart.
I just feel like all these people who are doing this thing, it's like, I don't know what you want, because people have been making these kinds of jokes for years, and they have continued to make these jokes, and because it's always like people who are like Tim Allen will go away for a while, and then come back.
That's better.
You can do it. You do it.
I can't get that high.
He comes back. There it is.
I got that one.
And now all of a sudden he's like, you can't make comedy anymore, and it's like, what are you talking about? Your show was it was called Home Improvement. You never did this thing. Why are you going around saying? And Roseanne is another one.
Oh yeah.
It's like, bro, we watched Roseanne. You never. You delved into topics, but you were never like raunchy and like edgy.
I mean, for the time they were, but it was a wholesome kind of raunchiness.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. That still works to this day.
Yeah.
The raunchiness and the out of pocket jokes still work when you can make them work within today's context, and when you can say like, all right, this person is punching down, but the reason they're punching down is because that person's kind of a piece of shit.
Right.
And the
storyline is that this person's ignorant.
Yeah.
And by the end, they learn something about that person.
Yeah.
It's the Archie Bunker effect.
Even if they don't learn something, you can say, you can write it in a way that like all the other characters go, do you see why that's not okay? And then that person can still be like, nah, fuck them.
Right.
And that still works because it's like, we know that character is in the wrong, and there's other characters. It's not an implicit like, you should be able to say these words and do these things anymore. It's just like it all can still work if you write it well enough. There's so many shows that are. I mean, I saw this guy posted everybody's been responding to that clip of Jerry, and one person was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know, what am I gonna do? What shows am I gonna watch except for Abbott Elementary and Always Sunny and Curb?" And like he listed like 20 shows that are on currently that you can still watch that do that.
Right.
So it's this
but they're
straw
all woke.
man, boogeyman, made up argument of. They're not letting us do that thing anymore. And it's like, yes, they are. You just got to do it better.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it better, then that's on you if you don't want to try harder. But you can't just go out and call people the F word and use the N word in jokes
the F slur.
the F slur.
You can call people the F word still.
You call them all that. Yeah, but exactly. You can go right up to that line. And even if you cross that line, just... Why did you cross that line?
Sure.
Was it funny?
Always Sunny
Was
used
it
the
smart?
F slur.
Yeah.
And they're not canceled.
They have episodes where they use blackface.
Yeah.
In the early
They sure do.
That show should be off the air.
Yeah, but
if
they're not.
If it was according to people like Jerry, that show would be off the air already.
Yeah.
And that podcast that you were mentioning would be the three of them going, it's fucking bullshit. They took our show off the air, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
And it's because they're writing a show better than you could write nowadays.
Yeah. They adapted. They're the new generation.
Yeah.
Get up with the times, old man.
Get up with the times, old man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe we'll come back to this. We'll do a one reel in on the Pop-Tart movie. And then we can kind of...
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
this
down.
all come full circle.
Maybe it'll be another B movie. The level that B movie is already, summited. Maybe it'll be up to there.
We could do a one reel in on the B movie.
B movie, yeah.
We'll just do all the Jerry movies. I don't know how many movies. I think he's only done like 3 movies.
Yeah, I don't think there are very many.
Imagine being in Jerry's position. To be a guy who made a sitcom.
Yeah.
He ended it when he felt like ending it.
Yeah. Married a teenager.
In
his late 30s.
Became a billionaire.
Yeah.
Off of the strength of just that show. And its syndication and its stand up.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, since his mid-20s, he's been doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Yeah.
And imagine still complaining. Just imagine what it takes, what kind of person you have to be to have been able to do whatever you want, no questions asked, for the better part of 60 years. And still be like, this is bullshit.
Well, I think that's exactly why he's doing it. It's because there were people that said no. And he didn't like that.
I don't know if there's that many people who can say no to Jerry Seinfeld.
I think that's
I
where
think
it's
there was
coming
maybe
from.
people who told him that those jokes weren't funny. Mm-hmm. And he was more offended by them saying that the jokes didn't work than them saying no. Jerry, to me, strikes me as a guy who is very prideful of the bit itself. Then somebody telling him you can't do that, I don't think it's about him not being able to do it. I think it's about the explanation as to why. He's like, because it's not funny. And he's like, no, you just don't know comedy. Because that's what he's always been saying, is that these people don't know what's funny.
Right.
If it's funny, you should be able to do whatever you want. And it's like, you know what, Jerry? Maybe the shit that you're saying it just ain't funny.
Right.
I watched his latest stand-up. Wasn't good.
No, and that's something to address, I think, separately, is that I was very excited when they announced that he had this Netflix deal, and I'm like, we're getting new Jerry content.
Yeah.
Being a big Seinfeld head, like, this is Christmas. And watching them, I think there have been 2, right?
I think I only saw the one.
Only one? Yeah, I forget. This is exactly endemic of what I'm saying here.
How memorable it was.
Yeah, it kind of sucked. It wasn't very good, and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
So people have pointed to the fact that his stand-up has been diminishing returns for a long time.
Yeah.
And he just seems like a guy that's been stuck in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and that's as far as he's willing to go and not evolve at all. And I think we're seeing that a lot with people of that generation that are unwilling to change with the times,
yeah.
or learn something,
yeah.
or maybe look at themselves and go, maybe we shouldn't be saying that anymore, man.
Right. Maybe that just doesn't work anymore.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Why do normal people have to have this level of self-awareness and self-observation, but people in Jerry's position can just be like, nah, it's the kids who are wrong.
I think he's a multimillionaire that hasn't been said no to for decades at this point, like you said. So
That's bullshit.
yeah, that's probably the case. That's probably the case.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe the Pop-Tart movie comes out to rave reviews like the B movie did. So
Could be.
yeah, we'll
Could
see.
be.
One last thing, and it's about more movies.
One more thing.
And maybe just maybe people aren't they're tired of bad jokes, and maybe they're also just tired of superhero movies. Maybe they're just tired of movies in general. Who knows?
Stop making movies.
Just stop making movies.
We have enough.
If you're not going to make a movie about, the lowest common denominator person or superheroes, then what are you even making movies about?
Yeah. What's the point?
What's the point? These movies can't be successful.
No, never.
A movie not about those two things.
Yeah. Might as well throw your money in a fire.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
According to Jerry Seinfeld and Joe Russo.
Joe Russo.
Who doesn't believe that it's superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
No, it can't be that.
Couldn't be
It
that.
has to be something else.
Right.
You want to give us the full context of his
Sure.
quote?
Yeah. So Joe Russo recently, I don't know who he was talking to about this, but
Variety, maybe?
let's see. I have a Variety article pulled up right here. According to Zach Sharf on Variety. The headline, I'm sorry to make fun of your name. It's not cool. I know.
See, that's comedy.
Your name's fun. Your surname's funny.
Sounds like the Animaniacs.
Sharf. The headline is Avengers director says Marvel's recent problems aren't due to superhero fatigue, but a, quote, big generational divide about how you consume media. So the Russo brothers are Joe and Anthony Russo. You may be familiar.
You catch the people up. I'm going to go pee.
Okay. So they are famous for making Captain America Civil War one of the best of the entire MCU thus far, and Avengers Endgame. But they were recently speaking to Games Radar Plus. Interesting. I don't know why they're talking to a video game website. The directors, this is from the Variety article. The director said that Marvel's current issues boil down to the changes in how people absorb media. It's a Hollywood-wide issue, not just a Marvel one. Quote, this is from Joe Russo. I think it's a reflection of the current state of everything. It's difficult right now. It's an interesting time. I think we're in a transitional period, and people don't know quite yet how they're going to receive stories moving forward, or what kinds of stories they're going to want. There's a big generational divide about how you consume media. There's a generation that's used to appointment viewing and going to a theater on a certain date to see something, but it's aging out. Meanwhile, the new generation are, quote, I want it now. I want to process it now. Then moving on to the next thing, which they process whilst doing two other things at the same time. It's a very different moment in time than it's ever been. And so I think everyone, including Marvel, is experiencing the same thing, this transition. And I think that really is the problem. That really is probably what's at play more than anything else. So Joe Russo's point is that it's more of an issue with these damn kids wanting everything at their fingertips when they want it immediately, and not wanting to have this appointment viewing type relationship with movies. Yeah, they don't want to have to look up a movie time, go out somewhere, get your tickets ahead of time, et cetera, et cetera. They want to be on their damn smartphones. Yeah, and just watch whatever they want to watch, and then immediately jump into something else.
Yeah, I mean, this is from the guy who made What are you, drunk already? This is from the guy who had a hand in making some of the most visual spectacle movies.
Yeah.
Like
fast editing.
I just find it hilarious that it's not coming from like the dude thank you. The dude who made I forget his name, but the guy who made Parasite, for instance. It's like it's these kinds of insights never come from the people who are making movies like that. They always come from people like Joe Russo, who are like, they don't want to watch our movies anymore. I don't understand. Like, what are we doing wrong? And it's like, I don't know, man. You know, you're making a Marvel movie. They make a Marvel movie every 3 months. You have to have some kind of awareness as to the quality that's being output,
right?
The pace that they're coming out. You can't be blind to all of these articles about, say, the studios overworking visual effects artists. Mm-hmm. The reviews that are coming out for all these movies. You can't sit here and be, you made 2 of the most successful Marvel movies of all time. You also had I should say 3, because they did Winter Soldier too, right? The Russos did Winter Soldier.
I think so, yeah.
You have or had the advantage of you walked in to a thing that was at a fucking boiler point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a powder keg that was just... And then they came in, and to their credit...
I was going to say, to their credit,
they pulled it off.
Oof, they pulled off the alley-oop, like, flawlessly.
Right. So I'll never take nothing away from the Russos when it comes to the kind of movies that they made. I know people are, like, watching clips online and going, man, these visual effects haven't aged that well, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to sit here and subscribe to that shit. If you weren't in the theater when that fucking matchup, or not matchup, but the reunion of all those people coming through the Doctor Strange portals and shit, and then when Captain America says
Avengers Assemble.
I mean, if you weren't there and you're not a comic book fan and you weren't watching all these movies at the time,
my heart rate spiked.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
My
palms got sweaty.
I'm not one of these people who's going to sit here and be like, comic book movies. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, that was a moment in time and it was awesome. Now,
it's really special.
2024 and that moment is over.
Yeah.
And Joe Russo and Marvel and everybody else attached to these projects has not figured out. Jerry Seinfeld. I'm sure he was in those pitch meetings.
Still stuck in the past.
None of them have been able to figure out how to continue the series.
What if we call Ant-Man the F-slur?
And so instead of looking inward and going, what are we doing wrong with these movies? It's not the quality of the movie. It's not the pace that they're coming out. It's everyone else's fault. It's the fans. It's the kids who don't know how to watch movies. Now, some people don't. That's
sure.
That is true.
That's its own issue, but I feel like it's a scapegoat for Joe Russo.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, he was part of making The Gray Man on Netflix.
Right.
Would he consider that a success or not? Because it was on a streaming platform that everyone, this new generation, in his own words, would fully embrace. So if he considers that not a success, unless he's chalking it up to it being not a great movie.
I like The Gray Man. I thought it was fun.
I mean, it's just, it seems like I read that, his quote, coming from a place of like, my stuff has failed because of X, Y, and Z.
Right. And not that the movie just didn't work.
Right. And I may be mistaken, this may be out of context or something, but that's what it comes off to me. If he's just saying that as like an observation in general, I can rock with that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm of the mind that there is a superhero fatigue, but it's not just that. It's fatigue based out of not only the amount, but the quality or lack thereof of recent Marvel movies. Let's not even talk about DC at this point.
Well, but that's the thing, though, is like when you talk about comic book movies, you talk about both of these studios, and you have to look at the quality of the movies that are coming out. Don't blame fans for not liking the Flash movie.
Sure.
Don't blame fans for not liking the third Ant-Man movie. They're not good.
Yeah.
That's not our fault that you're making bad movies.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think it's superhero fatigue. I think that is a ridiculous. After making, 30 fucking movies, now all of a sudden people are tired of them? Are you out of your mind?
Right.
There's 3 Iron Man movies. There's 3 Guardians movies. Yeah. There's 4 Thor movies. You're going to tell me that people are now in 2024 tired of this shit? Get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. No. Don't. That's just bullshit. It's like, dude, just make better movies.
Sure. Yeah.
People have already shown that they will show up for good movies. Yes, Oppenheimer had the momentum of the Barbenheimer thing, and that's the reason it made like $800 or $900 million.
Still would have been successful,
but it's still, even if you cut that in half, you still got a $500 million movie.
Yeah,
$500 million profit. Barbie made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Spectacles still work. People like big. People like explosions. People they like that shit. People will show up.
Yeah.
You're just not making good movies.
Give them a reason to show up. Simple as that.
It always falls down to that. Give me a reason to show up.
Yeah.
Why should I spend this money? Dude, we went and saw, and this is kind of part of my cheers of the week. I guess I'm kind of cutting into it. But we went and saw.
We can transition.
Oh, I guess we can. Do we have anything else to say?
I really have not. Like, that's my capper on this entire thing. Just make better movies. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as complex as that.
Yeah.
Just focus on making the best movie you can. Don't worry about all the tendrils that go into, this universe. Like, that is for a higher up person to be like, look, inject Blade into this because we're introducing him in this.
Yeah.
But don't let it affect your overall story arc.
Yeah.
Make the best movie you can.
Yeah. Make better
People movies. Will show up.
Give people a reason to go.
Right.
And they will go.
Focus more on the movie and less on the universe is my advice to Marvel.
And don't blame us.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that these studios, these directors, these actors, these writers, when your first instinct is to go, people just don't get it anymore. It's like, don't insult us because you made a shitty movie.
Right.
Okay? I'll watch dumb movies. I'll watch hyper intelligent movies. I'll watch any movie that looks good.
I'll watch most any movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So do not fucking put the onus on me because you didn't come out with a good fucking movie. That's not my fault.
Same with anything. Same with any product at all.
Yeah.
If I don't show up for your tacos, maybe you didn't promote them good enough.
Right.
Or maybe I heard from, Joe Russo down the street, that the tacos suck.
Yeah.
Make better tacos. Focus on that.
It's not people watching TikTok, although that overall may have an impact that we'll probably have to talk about later.
Yeah.
But the people who are on TikTok, the people who don't have the attention span for your big spectacle event movie, never had it.
Sure. They would never have shown up.
No.
Yeah.
So stop. Don't blame them. Don't blame me. It's not my fault. To get into my cheers of the week, because this is a good transition.
Yeah.
Transition. Andy and I went and saw Alien in theaters.
Nice.
They've been doing this re-release thing.
Yeah.
For the past couple of years now, which I didn't really realize until, going to see Alien. My cheers is to this idea of these studios going, you know what? Let's just put that back in theater for people who like that movie.
I love it.
It's awesome.
I love it.
The Mummy, which we've talked about on this plenty, like 100,000 times. That's also one of my favorite movies of all time. If we're talking favorites and not like what I think the best, if we're talking favorites, it's probably top 5 for me. I love that movie.
It is absolutely one of the most rewatchable movies
of
all time.
Yeah. Andy and I have been watching all the Alien movies.
Yeah.
And come to find out, it's the 45th anniversary of the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And to celebrate that, the studio put the movie back in theaters. 4K resolution, all the bells and whistles.
Yep.
So we went and saw it, and I mean, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
To sit in the theater and watch a movie that good. First of all, a movie that good.
Yeah.
Because Alien is
flawless film.
Flawless.
Yeah.
And what it does is it kind of fucks with you a little bit. Because first of all, you're watching a movie from the 70s right now, which is weird to be sitting in a theater and watching a movie from like 78.
Yeah.
And you're like...
Not in like an art house theater, not like at the Enzian.
No, but like a big theater.
Yeah, at a Regal.
Like, this is how people were watching this when this movie came out. That's wild. But to also be watching a movie that is so good, and it really does make you go, why can't they do this anymore? What's the problem? What's the issue? Because this movie's in theaters right now. I paid money to go see it in theaters, even though I own it.
Yeah.
And even though I can watch it on streaming right now.
Yeah.
I left my house. I paid $16 for a bottle of water and a small popcorn.
Oh my God.
And I sat in that theater and I watched that movie all the way through. And when the credits rolled, I was like, God damn, what a movie.
What a picture.
What a picture.
Yeah.
Why can't they do that anymore? Joe Russo, don't tell me it's my fault that you can't make a movie as good as Alien.
Sure, yeah.
It's your fault, brother. It's your fucking fault. So that's my piece on that.
That's fair. I second that. I love the re-releases. I hope they continue to do that. I mean, that'll get me to go to the theater. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
You kidding
Show
me?
some classics.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Keep putting them classics out there.
Classics, especially because I've seen that some of them are coming out for like $5.
Yeah.
Just go see a.
Dude, we went on Tuesday and it was like $7 to go see it. It was. That's the other thing. It's like crazy cheap.
Awesome. It's
like,
love it. Love it. I hope for more of that. Okay, my cheers. Actually segues a bit into what we were just talking about too with Joe Russo. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You've been really pounding this shit. I just peed most of it away, so
it's very light. like. My cheers of the week goes to Gen V.
Oh,
the
you
TV
finished
show.
it?
I just finished it. Yeah. So this is The Boys, the story of a girl. This is The Boys spinoff that I personally was apprehensive about because it's not proper The Boys season 3. You know, it is a spinoff. It's about characters that we've never met, though there are to not spoil anything, but there are cameos from the other the main characters of The Boys.
Yeah. There's boys in it?
There are boys in it. But it's like a college level version of The Boys.
Yeah.
So it's about these superheroes in training, essentially.
Yeah.
And it goes far deeper and far harder than I had any idea.
Yeah.
The further you watch, like the more you watch it, the more and more you realize, no, this is a proper Boys season.
Yeah.
And it expands the world in really interesting ways. I loved it. I finished it and I'm like, man, that was good.
Yeah.
And I feel like it has direct connective tissue to the mainline Boys storyline in a way that I feel like other franchises could learn from.
Yeah.
It does it right. It does the cameos right. It does it pays proper like respects to the mainline characters while also giving us enough time with these new characters to make them matter and to get you invested in them and to see like it's a really sneakily smart way to like introduce young new characters that could possibly be in the mainline story eventually.
Right.
So I just thought all of that was like super smart, and I'd love to see that more in like Marvel and Star Wars, things like that. Some thought and wit within the storyline. But I just thought it was incredible. If you're a fan of The Boys and you're afraid of Gen V being like too kiddie or being too much of like a teen drama type thing. It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
It subverts every expectation of that. So I loved it. I want to also say R.I.P. to Chance Perdomo, the young man who played Andre Anderson, famous for being in the Sabrina remake TV show too. Unfortunately passed away this year unexpectedly. Motorcycle accident. Sucks because he was really good in the show, and obviously everyone is gonna be missing him. But I just think Gen V is well worth your time if you're a Boys fan. Don't let it slip you by.
I am a fan of the Boys, so. All right. One last thing we got to do, and you know what that is. Mm-hmm. We got to review these brewskis. So, from the Bog Brewing Company comes the Leichtbier. Obi, what'd you think?
I think it's a great light beer. I think it is as it looks and as it's described. I think it is very bare bones. There's a little bit of maltiness to it, which I like. But yeah, I mean, it's very easy drinking, something you could have on the beach. Good with a, if you're cooking out maybe. I mean, heads and tails above any standard light beer. Any light lager you would get generally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I would grab it again if the situation struck.
Yeah.
So yeah, enjoyed it. Good for the summer.
Good for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay.
For pretty much all the same things that you said. Light, easy drinking, crispy boy. Well made, well balanced. You really. They poured it in a big old stein. I think it was a 20-ounce stein.
Yeah.
And you just rip through it, man.
Don't judge me then.
I didn't. I just didn't realize how much I had left.
Yeah.
And that's, hey man,
I wish I had that much left.
You do. It's in there. If there is a sign of how good a beer is, it is how quickly you can just fucking pound it back and forget about it.
Yeah. It's a good point. Good point.
Nice light beer.
Like
these guys right here.
Yeah.
These guys right here. Whoop. Oh, didn't know we were doing that, did you?
The champagne of beers.
The champagne of beers. So, a 5 for me, a 4.5 for you, good sir. You think we got it?
I know we got it.
Well, if Obi says we got it, then it's over. This has been the One Beer In Podcast from myself, Marco Dupo, for Adam Obesis Rodriguez.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer. And have yourself a beautiful evening.
We love you.
Ugh.